Welcome to Cruise and Kayfabe. I'm Mongo.
I'm Emily.
And today we
I'm
also have
Rachel.
joining us.
Jeff and Rachel.
Hello.
Welcome back, Smokey and Rachel. Thank you guys so much. As you know, they're always the cornerstones of our prediction show, so we had to have them back, especially to talk about Wrestledream.
Yes, thank you for having us back. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Love AEW pay-per-views, as you know. We love doing the predictions. We've been pulling a Jeff and Rachel lately, too, because we've been pretty split. We haven't been matchy-matchy so much on these predictions. We've been kind of divisive.
Really?
Yes, they have, and so have we. So I enjoy it because, like I said, I love it. I don't know her answers. She doesn't know mine. That's the way I like it. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Dr. Nick. Yes, I can't wait. There's 11 matches on the card. I know the build's been kind of underwhelming compared to All In, All Out, but I still feel like we're still getting such a quality wrestling card that I don't see a match on this card where I'm like, oh, I really don't want to see that. And I know the first one we're going to talk about, I know a lot of people don't want to see, but I can't wait to see what Mark Briscoe does here. We have Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho. Obviously, Big Bill kind of teasing his face turn there.
Because Enzo's coming.
Oh, God. No, we're not starting with Enzo already.
No, not yet.
You just want to will this into existence now since I started to, but I was only joking. She found the tinfoil already.
I just
already?
really could see this now. It's just making more and more sense the more that they grow apart. He's already really gotten over with the crowd again, which is what he needed. It's time.
I don't know. Rachel, you got to save us here. Rachel, who do you think is going to win between Mark Briscoe and Jericho? Do you think Mark Briscoe retains his ROH title, or do you think Jericho becomes Siete?
No, I think Briscoe's going to retain.
Oh, I like it.
I think he's going to keep it. I do not think Jericho's going to win. I don't think Jericho wants to win because he's going up against Mark Briscoe. So he's like, yeah, I'll just, we'll have it be a good match. I'll put you over, So that's what I think's going to happen.
Yes.
I like it.
And so it begins right from the start. Right away, we're starting off, and I'm going the other way, and I'm going with the learning tree, Chris Jericho. And I don't think he needs it or anything else, but I think he's going to get it because it's a setup for Samoa Joe coming back, so Samoa Joe can get the belt back.
Okay, I like that. So you think instead of the Ocho, he's going to be in the Nueve? I said my Spanish wrong there. So number 9, Nueve.
Correct.
Interesting. All right, well, I think Emily's willing certain Enzo Amore into existence here, so I think I know how she's leaning, but Emily, what do you think?
I think that the learning tree's branches are going to cost him, and I think Briscoe is going to retain.
Okay, so we have...
The leaves are turning.
The leaves are turning. He's already the rotten apple now? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, he's something.
Even the giving tree got tired eventually.
That's true.
I think Jeff, you're going to have to be a lone wolf because I don't see them putting the Ring of Honor championship back on Jericho. I don't see what that accomplishes. I think Mark Briscoe retains here, kind of like Matt said in the comments, and kind of just I'm going to go with you, Rachel, because I think Mark Briscoe, just to get that rub, to get that win over Jericho, especially after him calling out, oh, you're not as good as Jay. I think that line, he needs to win just to avenge that line. That was some cheap heel heat, Jericho. Wow.
Yep. I think my heart pick is Briscoe, but I just wanted to pick Jericho just because everybody else isn't. Because I know he doesn't need it, but
it needs him.
It does. And then the next match is going to be chaotic as hell because we have Darby Allin and Brody King. No stipulations, but you know they're not going to just keep this wrestling. You know there's going to be debauchery in this one.
Shenanigans.
They're tied 1-1 in this rubber match. So who's going to come out on top?
Rachel, what you got?
I have Darby. I think there's going to be a lot of blood, though. I think there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff. I think he's going to be falling, doing the coffin fall, from very high up. So I just hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I got Darby for that. So
I like it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree. This is going to be a good match. You got the two Washington boys. Going to be a hard hitting, kind of violent match. Should be a banger. I'm going to go a different way again, and I'm going to pick Brody King because I feel like this could be a good, cool thing because Darby could be doing like a downward spiral, because, oh, I'm the face and I'm the, he never said that shit before like that. You know what I mean? He kind of almost has this prima donna-ish attitude, not completely, but maybe a little. So I'm going to do that because, he's got all these chances this year, throughout the year at different titles and different things, and he really didn't have any results. So I just kind of would like to see Brody get a little push and something different. So I'm going to go Brody King.
I like it.
Darby
All right,
can't
now.
move.
I know this has been.
Hey, I love Darby.
So Darby has actually never pinned Brody in the ring, even on the independents, and they started at the same time. So their careers have aligned this whole time. And Brody was Darby was Brody's first match in AEW as well. So I think that their story just is as old as the test of time. Like this is it, These two have constantly gone around, and the only time Darby has won was that coffin match.
Yes.
So he didn't have to pin him. So I want to say Darby, but is he going to be able to pin Brody finally? All those coffin drops he's going to do could benefit.
And it could cost him.
Could cost him.
Right.
And he's like, my favorite part about these two is that they go back and forth so many times. Even like you had Darby getting attacked at a clothing store, you had
concert.
Yeah, the concert with Brody, like all these different things are happening outside of their actual wrestling career. So it's really cool to see that.
So you're going with Darby?
Yeah.
So I
Don't die.
It's hard not to. We gotta bias for Darby. I mean, it's automatic.
And Matt's going with Darby, and Rachel here saying Darby's going to do his best Spike Dudley and Nick Gage. Yeah, he's going to bump his ass off and be hardcore and take a beating like he owes money. I went into tonight thinking, yeah, it's going to be Darby. But I think that it's going to be Brody. I agree with Jeff. I think Darby is getting ready to join John Moxley's group. I think, that's not unfinished because he just gave up his title match by putting up for match, and he, lost it. And I think that was his initiation, kind of like how Wheeler Yuta bled to get the BC. I think Darby gave up his title shot and fighting for it. He earned Moxley's respect even more. I think he's going to team up with Moxley's faction, so I think that's why he's going heel. So I think Brody King, I think he needs to get taught another lesson. I think this will be, you're right, I need you. I need you. And that can be how something else will play out later. But I think Darby loses here, especially in his hometown. He's going to feel so defeated because it's his home state, and he gets his ass whooped by Brody King. So I'm with Jeff. So we got the Jeff and Mongo and Rachel and Emily. So we're divided here.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Well, hey Andy, how are you? Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. Just talking Wrestledream here. Super excited. Next match is a pure wrestling match that I didn't know I needed until set up. But we have Jack Perry versus Shibata for the TNT title, and I fucking love Shibata, so I am ready for this match.
So I have Shibata winning it. I think it's time for Jack Perry to step down. I think it's Shibata's turn. I think he's ready to come up. I think he's done his hard work. I think it's time. So, plus I kind of don't like Jack, the new Jack Perry. So
Really?
You're not supposed to.
no,
I
I
love
don't.
I like it too. I think it's fine.
I think it brought so much more of an edge to him. I think it's really taken him out of that shell and really developed this whole new persona that he was trying to go for and couldn't get. And now, the whole crowd's just waiting for Justin Timberlake to play.
Hopefully, he
Well,
didn't have to go to
it
the
got
bar
away
before.
from jungle.
I'm not talking about live. No one wants to see Justin Timberlake live anymore.
Some people still pay for that.
Sad.
Well, it got rid of that Jungle Boy, persona he was trying to get rid of, just because nobody let it go. So,
Ref, how are you?
oh hey,
sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Smokey, so he can do his pick. So who you
no,
got?
you're good. Opposite way again. I'm going Jack Perry. I would love to see the old school New Japan style, the wrestler Shibata in this match. So I'm hoping that's what this is. It helps push Shibata a lot, and I would love to see him win. I'm not, saying I'm opposed to that, but I just don't think it's quite there. I think he's got a little bit more to prove and do before he's ready for any kind of championship yet. But I hope this really, elevates him and puts him in some good, title pictures and stuff like that. So Jack Perry wins, but good showing by Shibata with a good push, I think.
I like it.
I'm next. So I think Perry takes this. I don't see him losing yet. I know, Rachel, I know. I just don't see him losing it yet. I feel like this is something that he's really being built up to carry and potentially even take the record.
Good call. I think Jack Perry as well, because I don't think that Shibata's built up a story to take the title from him. I think whoever takes the title from him is going to have meaning, like Jeff was alluding to. So I definitely am going to take Jack Perry here, but I think Hook's leaning into being the guy who takes it off. I think Hook's going to be the guy who has to, kind of run that.
Daniel Garcia.
Or maybe one of those.
Wait,
I was thinking Daniel Garcia.
That's
yep.
one of them.
Oh, I like that. That's true. He was eyeballing, and he did go up to Shibata.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying future TNT champ is.
Homie, I'm leading the way. DG.
And now we just gotta wait for Matt to have a meltdown in the comments because Matt's got some heat with DG, but
it happens.
We still love him.
Jamal's got Jeff. Yeah, I'm gonna say I like that. See, that changes my thought, but I'm still saying Jack Perry. Oh, here we go. I was waiting for this one. Hocus Pocus. There it is. You caught him mid-comment, Jeff. I love it. All right, and now I think the match that I'm looking forward to the most besides the title match, Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Takeshita for the AEW International Championship, and what will probably be one of the best triple threat matches probably since WrestleMania 39 with Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew.
You can call it a three-way.
It's just weird to say that. I like to say triple threat. Three-way just sounds...
I'll call this one a three-way.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess
three-way dance, three-way, triple threat.
I guess before I ask you guys who wins, I'll say on this match, no matter who wins, we fucking win.
We all win. This is going to be great.
Yes, we do. I already know who you're picking. Just because.
You do not.
Oh, wait, she's got to throw the crown.
That's who you're picking, isn't it?
Totally Will Ospreay all the
knew
way. Like, that man can wrestle. And he can bring out the best in everybody else. Plus,
three-way jump.
everybody loves him. Like, the whole crowd gets into it. And he loves it too. You can really see him loving it and enjoying it. I do think that Ricochet's not going to be too far behind, because I think he's coming out too. But yeah, totally Ospreay all the way, always, forever.
She's throwing the crowns up.
Yes. Okay. Well, I want Will to win, but I'm taking Takeshita for the dub. I think this sets up rematch at Grand Slam, or I'm sorry, Full Gear. Sets up that rematch, and then you have no Ricochet in it. Ricochet takes the L in this match, so that way it doesn't hurt Will at all. And then I think maybe they're only going to do that so they can drop it to Will, and then Takeshita versus Okada for the C2 final. There's my throwing out there.
Like
Tinfoil and everything, so there you go.
Everyone's coming to that tinfoil club. I love it.
I've been on that for a while.
You have been. You have been. I know who Emily's going to say. I don't even have to look at her notes. Same
It's
as you.
Ospreay. It's
Mm.
got to be Ospreay retaining. I
Yes.
don't see how it makes sense. If the other two were going to take it, they would have. It's Ospreay, and I think what would be really nice to see is almost
Almost? I don't want to see
a
almost.
like submission between all three of them. Like all three are in the ring and two people are tied up, and I don't know. Oh, that sounds worse. Okay, not what I was going for. Like two of them are gonna tap out. We just don't know who it's gonna be yet, and I think it would be really cool to see like Will somehow tap both of them out.
So you're saying like kind of having like a double headlock, or like when they do like the headlock ankle lock at the same time,
Yeah.
like when the Briscoes and FTR
That'd
did,
be
like,
cool.
the four-way submission
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I could just
That's-
see it being a way that
to show
could
off their
happen.
skills.
Or Garcia comes out because
You guys are just having Garcia in every match. I love it.
excuse me, but did they not tell us that
This
Garcia
is
is
Matt
being
Hardy's
written
worst
into every
nightmare of an
match?
episode.
Yep.
So,
Hey, he called
they
out
told
every
us.
champ. He called out every champ.
He did. He did.
So, because when you think about it, back before All In and All Out happened, you had Garcia, Will, and MJF going through their tidbits. So, makes you wonder, is this something that they're going to bring back? Because they told us that they had multiple stories in place for Garcia. So, he really has multiple areas he could come out at.
Agreed.
All right.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is the place for Garcia. However, I'm being different. I'm going with Jeff again. Jeff and I are saying I'm going to Takeshita.
Yeah.
I thought
Ricochet.
I thought the same thing. I thought Ricochet's taking the L because I went and rewatched Will Ospreay at Revolution versus Takeshita, and if you look when they meet up in the ring, when Don Callis puts his match together, Takeshita kind of pulls in Will. Like he's pissed off that Will's here. Like I was supposed to be the guy. You kicked Kenny out for me, kind of like you threw Kenny to the curb. You said I was the one going under your wing, and now you're fucking bringing him in. So he wrestled. Then he lost. He lost to him, and he looked really annoyed at Callis, and he's been planting the seeds that he was not so much jealous of Will, but like, what the hell? Like, why are you here? And then he went to the G1, like, look, I can go do it too. So I feel like he's trying to get like his father's love, so to speak, and it's just not good enough. So that's why he attacked Will Ospreay, and I think that's why he's going to take title, because that's what's going to mean something. Like you said, I think it sets up the match at Full Gear. I think Takeshita takes it. I think he throws Ospreay out, and I think Ricochet takes the L. And Ospreay's in shock, but Takeshita's holding up. But I think Don Callis comes out. We're going to see attempted beatdown here, and I think maybe this is where we see Mark Davis come back. And I think that's when we get, because they've been teasing United Empire.
Get that split.
I don't want to see that breakup.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, no, I want to see the split of Kyle Fletcher from Don Callis.
Me too. We were shopping for costumes earlier, and I asked Cam if he wanted to be Don Callis, and he looked at me weird. I was like, "That's a hot dog."
Yeah, giant hot dog.
Giant
You
hot dog.
put a little scar there.
There's
in
also a
your
very phallic costume, if you get our drift, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I found a costume, and I distracted Mongo for a minute, and I was like, "Cam, go put that on." And he comes back, and he's like, and Dad goes, "Do you know what that is?" And he's like, "Yeah, look, it has balls." He's a dickhead.
Right. That's awesome.
Good old Spirit Halloween.
Yes.
They don't even wait till the corpse of the store is warm before they go in there and take over.
The thing was so little.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. So anyway, we're going to go to the next match here. So we have the
That's fun.
EVPs versus Private Party for the Tag Team Championships.
Oh, okay.
Interesting note, only 25% of the people who took our poll think Private Party has a chance. So all the other matches have kind of some split, but this one, no one's really giving Private Party a chance. So Rachel, do you think Private Party take the tag titles, or do you think the Young Bucks retain?
I don't think the Young Bucks will let Private Party win.
So you're saying the Young Bucks?
Yep, I say the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks have the power. I mean, they always end up on top. They always do. So I think it's going to be good for Private Party. I think they're going to get more matches and everything. But no, I think Young Bucks are going to retain.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going the other way again. taking the big upset and the big leap and going with Private Party. I just think if they don't get over here, get it here, I think they're just going to get kind of fall back again and not going to be as hot. Granted, I don't think it's quite the time to do it. I think it's maybe a hair premature, but I just feel like if they don't pull the trigger, I don't know how they keep them up there in championship matches enough and things like that, because they didn't give them enough wins, in my opinion, building up to this kind of. So, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with them, because if not, the Bucks hold on to these belts and then they face the Golden Lovers or something like that. So then we gotta stick with this for another 6 months or 8 months or something. But I will say this for a crazy tinfoil: if Private Party loses and they have a great showing and kind of show what they got and are tough and everything else, maybe they are a BCC. This new BCC, since they're getting aggravated and pissed off, and
Kind of like the Darby situation. I like.
yeah, they kind of earn it with that match with the Bucks. And they're like, well, yeah, you guys lost, but you guys showed you got some fucking balls or something, something like that. So those are kind of my tinfoils, but I'm going Private Party with the dub.
I like it. I like it. It's a party, and we're all invited. So who does Peeps think?
Shots.
All right, so mine is very similar to Jeff, except you think BCC. I'm going the other route. Hurt Syndicate is coming through, and MVP could very well scoop up young talent that are eager to win, eager to have matches, have been around since the start, would really show that MVP's done his homework. So I could see him coming out with them and helping them win. I want to see them take the titles, because if not, then when?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So are you saying they're gonna lose and join?
No,
the
they're
Hurt
going to
Syndicate?
win and join
Okay.
Hurt Syndicate, because
Okay.
MVP is going to come out strong. Yeah, I love to hate the Young Bucks right now.
I was gonna
Fuck.
say.
I
Fuck,
understand.
this run is shit. No one
but
likes
they're
it
like
but
CEO.
them.
Like they
They're not having
make the
bad matches
plans.
though.
It's not the matches that's the problem. It's the fact that they have the title belts that they don't need, because nothing's happening.
They're the heels. You're supposed to want them
I
not to have the
know.
titles.
Again, I love to hate them.
It's great. I love it. I love it. They're doing
It's
their
working. Like,
That's
Well,
exactly it.
I think tomorrow you'll be very happy, because I also think Private Party takes the belts. So, wow, I didn't think that I thought I was going to be the one going for Private Party, but
no, I'm invited.
I think
Yep.
it's either because one of two ways.
Couple times.
Tinfoil Mongo says Golden Lovers come back tomorrow night and cost the Bucks the titles as a measure of revenge for the attack on Kenny. And that's how you get it on Private Party to get those titles. And that's good. I like the Hurt Syndicate. I didn't really think about that.
I like that too.
But if it's not them, I think Grizzled Young Vets cost them the title tomorrow. Someone's costing them the title because they're sick of them ruining the division. And I think that's kind of where you go next, because if you look at AEW's storylines lately, they're not calling so much to real life, but they're noticing what people are complaining, like especially the valid complaints. So are they going to pull the trigger, give them titles, put them in the Hurt Syndicate?
So-
that would help out. Or
Yes,
are they going
would.
to let them thrive, get new champions, and let the Bucks have to kind of crawl their way back and figure out a new strategy?
Yeah, well, recently Tony Khan went on and said something about how he has complete control of creative as far as stories go, like that. So, like, he kind of gave a shot at the Bucks, saying,
Hi, Gina. Congratulations
that.
on your marriage.
Congratulations.
we are so happy for you, but also we got some beef, Gina. You were like
Ooh.
2 feet from Taylor Swift last week.
Oh, I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
I am
I saw the
jealous.
pictures.
I don't know. I am jealous.
At the football game.
Yes.
Yeah.
That took me a second. I'm like, oh, wait, what? This is news to me.
No, I was like, yeah, that was awesome. It looked like you guys had a great time.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would have just made the game 10 times better. Like, you're already a fan, and then you have that.
Right?
If it was a
Yeah.
Patriots game, it'd be over.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Maybe. All right. So since you talked about Hurt Syndicate, we should bring up Swerve is coming back at
Yeah.
Wrestledream in his hometown Tacoma, where he was born. He said he's got some business to conduct. I feel like it's almost obvious that he goes to the Syndicate. So does Lashley debut here? Does he join the Syndicate? What do you think is going to happen?
I think he gets a new Prince Nana.
As an MVP.
Yeah, like I think that's what's gonna happen. Prince Nana's done.
Oh man.
We're gonna say nana nana to nana.
That
Yeah,
hurt my head.
that's what I think.
I just I don't know. I feel like Nana's going to get kicked to the curb eventually here, but I don't really want to. I kind of want to see the dance for a little longer and all of that. So yeah, I'm going to kind of go with Matt on that and want that Swerve versus Lashley, and maybe that's to see if Swerve goes there or something. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Like, or it would be a leadership thing because you have the two alphas because MVP's the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? Shelton's the worker, you know, and then you have those two are going to be battling for that, in my opinion, leadership role if that's where he's going. So, yeah, I feel like them two have to have a match because it's going to have to decide something. So, I guess Lashley's coming up, like with my tinfoil.
I like it. What do you
I
think?
don't see him joining Hurt Syndicate. I think that Nana's worked really well for him this whole time. I don't see this going away anytime soon. I think that if anything, it's going to make their relationship stronger, and Swerve is going to be champion again. There's no doubt there. It's just a matter of when now. I don't know. Like, I don't want to see it go. It was so good for so long, and I'm not ready for that change of Swerve. I want to see him stay, but then again, he's been through a lot of trauma lately. So
When his house burned down, he lost the title and he lost the match to Hangman.
yeah,
I think he
so
wants a
I don't
change. I
know.
think he wants to come out all new and
Well, he said he had some
be different.
business to talk to with Nana. So,
Yeah.
But then does he change his look with it? Because his look
No.
is like him.
No. They're not going to go corporation
But
1999.
they're business looking. Is Swerve gonna have to join in the business look?
So he wears a suit once in a while if he has to. It doesn't, I mean, they always do that, but
he could do like a leather
you
suit
think
or
too
something,
much
though.
to 1999 Corporation, which you didn't have to sit through the 1999 Corporation. Don't worry, this isn't Rock having to wear an Adidas jumpsuit and everyone else wearing awful suits from JCPenney's. I don't think, even if he joins, I don't think they're going to hilter their style. I think they kept Shelton in the suit because that's kind of how Shelton has dressed for a while. I mean, that's kind of what heel businessmen do. Look at the Bucks; they kind of have that. But I don't think they're going to change Swerve. He'd be like the Seth Rollins. He's going to have that cool drip. He always does. He always has that fresh style. So even if he did, there'd be awesome suits.
Maybe it's a new song that Swerve's coming out with, so it's going to be like a new
I like it.
catchphrase.
Maybe that's hard for the swerving when you're driving. I mean, that's a pretty good one still.
I think it's too obvious that he dumps Nana, so I don't think he does.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. I feel like they have to have that match, and then, maybe if he loses, then Nana's got to go or something, and that builds up to a little series of matches for, like I said, that control of it or whatever, leadership.
Like, Matt had a good point that Swerve cuts a promo and gets it beat down by, Bobby Lashley. But I just can't think of going too obvious because they don't always do that. You think one way, and then, no pun intended, they swerve you. I think Swerve doesn't want to be on his own, but I think he is loyal to Nana because Nana, he was on an interview recently with O'Shea Jackson, and he was saying that Kobe Bryant wasn't Kobe Bryant without Phil Jackson. I mean, Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan without Phil Jackson. So he talked about how they instilled the championship mentality into him, and that's what he instilled by adding the dance, like you said, by adding flair to him, by getting him over with the crowd, with the Who's House helping him get his aura over with the crowd. And I think he recognizes that, and I think his character would recognize that. So I don't think he's going to just ditch him.
Right.
I think it's going to take kind of like what Matt said, where they maybe hold Nana hostage, but Nana teased, I'll lace up these boots. He's not afraid to fight for his client. I think that respects Swerve will see. So I don't think he joins the Hurt Syndicate. I like your idea of Private Party though, because he is going to collect the talent that wants to be there, kind of like the Moxley BCC, how they're doing that. So I think we get a Lashley Swerve feud. Like he comes and just absolutely utterly destroys him, because that can build up to like Full Gear for their first match. And like you said, maybe that's their test, and maybe they tease it down the road. But I don't see him ditching Nana just yet. I feel like it's too soon.
No, I agree. And he got a heel Swerve stuff over like that all the time.
Yes.
So I think that was even more impressive.
And then, well, since we went to Swerve, let's go to another person who kind of betrayed her friends and might have some people show up. We have Mariah May taking on Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's Championship. So, Rachel, do you think Mariah May walks as champion, or do you think Willow gets her top prize?
I think Willow's going to take it
Oh,
because I think
Good.
Mariah May is going to be the shortest one that has had the title, because she did Tony Storm over. Timeless Tony Storm. So, plus Willow has really worked hard to get, out there and up there, and she even, got some blood on her and stuff. So, like she's really trying. I think it's her time. So my go is Willow.
Sticking with the theme. So, okay. This one's actually, so I think Willow wins the match, but Mariah May retains the title,
okay.
is what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. I think I described that correctly. Because I don't know. I mean, agreed, Willow has had some great stuff. I mean, but she lost, the TBS, the CMLL belt, the New Japan, strong, and the Owen Hart final. Like, been a lot of
That's why she should
kind
win
of
it.
success, but heartbreak at the same time. So I think, I just don't feel like it's the right time for her to win. This is kind of rushed. It seems like a backup in a way to, I'm wondering, like Britt, with her getting sick and all this stuff. I don't know. And then Tony's gone. So I don't know. I'm going to go that my prediction on the win and retention with either Britt Baker or Tony Storm getting involved for the DQ or whatever, count out or whatever it ends up being for that. So, but yeah, too short a run. I'm the opposite of her. I don't feel like it's been a long enough run. So,
I like it. All right, do you think your girl keeps her belt, or you think
yeah.
your girl is brand new champion? Because this is hard for you, because you love both Mariah and Willow.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
so I see where Rachel's coming from, because you want Willow to finally get that win. You want her to have the thing that she's worked so hard for all year. She's been doing interviews. She's been showing the company off. She's been at a bunch of different things, like the network stuff and
She
all these
deserves
other
it.
things. Yeah, she's a good face right now for the company. But also, I feel like there's so much more brewing with the Mariah story, and maybe even another runaround with Mercedes and Willow. And I just don't feel like with Mercedes being TNT champion or TBS champion that we're gonna see Willow taking the women's championship. I feel as though she would take the
Like get her
TBS.
title back.
I feel like it would be a TBS run before the women's run.
Like kind of avenge her last big loss.
Yeah,
I
like
gotcha.
I like that.
I don't.
Redemption.
That's just how I see it. Like, I just want her to take back the TBS title so bad, because she really crushed it with that. I could see like a custom belt being done where like it's like friendship bracelet letters on it. I don't know, little things.
No, I was just saying, get the redemption, like eventually
Yeah,
just
I'm with
get
you.
towards getting her title back. And Tony Khan loves redemption stories. I mean,
And we know that they need to
Especially for
rename
baby
it or
faces.
redesign it, because the TBS hose belt isn't working. It's
the logo, yeah.
Yeah, the logo's
Oh,
always been
yeah.
something that people picked apart, and they have a new network, so maybe they can change some things around. And I see Mercedes being the face of that at the moment, because she is a bigger name.
And
Not that-
presence, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just where
Yeah, I know
she's
what you
also
mean
being
there.
the highest paid, she probably has more things in her contract about being at television events and stuff. I don't know.
Well,
I
she
think
needs
you're
to
looking-
fight.
Yeah, but I think
She's mad 'cause
Mariah
she's
is
not
going to
on it.
take this. Getting back on track there, sorry.
No, you're
Mariah
fine.
is taking this.
I think
All
you're
right.
looking too much into
The business.
no. I think you're looking too much into your disdain for Monet's like the content because none of that's.
It's
She's.
not a disdain. I respect it.
I'm not. I'm saying you're talking like about how like her highest contracts. I think what it is you're going for the redemption angle. Tony Khan loves redemption angles. Look at Mark Briscoe, and it took him a year to win the ROH title. Look at how they kind of set up Swerve to finally capture that title after missing out Revolution. How Bryan Danielson finally captured it. He likes those stories of like they get their big moment, and I think it's gonna be Willow. I just don't think it's now because I agree with you. I think it's still Mariah's time. I think Mina is actually the one who causes. So it's funny because I'm on the same wavelength, Jeff, that there's going to be a DQ finish or a schmozz finish to kind of protect both ladies here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's Mina because Mina already showed up at Grand Slam and she was disappointed. Then she went to Japan with Tony. She's going to come back and just be like, what are you doing? And I think it's going to be one of those that she gets like counted out or something because Mina's going to slap her and Mariah's going to be kind of heartbroken because it's going to be Mina versus Mariah at Full Gear. Like that's leading where they're leading is Mina and Mariah.
I like that
Because
too.
Mina's disappointed. So
Go get one.
I mean,
Grab two.
but either way, I could see what Jeff said too. I could see, and Tony Storm, since she had to cancel Mexico, I could see her coming back now and continue that feud. But I think they're continuing their feud to Grand Slam Australia because I think that's kind of where it makes sense.
Yeah, I also saw maybe Mina and Tony do like a backstage interview or something where I thought Tony was going to be in Mexico. I was like, well, maybe there'll be an interview. I don't know. Something.
And Matt Hardy in his spot on here where Willow is at a boiling point like Heartbreak Kid 95. Few more strikes, few more go full. Exactly. I think it's get that girlhood dream moment. I think it's all in Texas is where I could see someone like Willow getting it, like a big moment, or she finally, like Rachel said, gets her moments back. All these heartbreaking losses, and maybe her and Athena have a great match or something like that. I can see her and Athena getting their moments at All In. I can see like Tony rewarding all these hardworking wrestlers. Like I see Billy Starks taking the title from Athena. Athena coming to main roster. I see Willow maybe getting the TBS title redemption All In. I see her getting her big moment. I just don't think it's her time for the world title just yet, but that's coming. Like I think next year you'll see her win that big one. And she deserves it. She's a hell of a person. Like one of the nicest people I've ever talked to.
Oh yeah, she was awesome.
Yes, and she's a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
She's the total
Well, and
package.
she's ultimate white meat baby face too. So it's hard to go against her at all. But she makes it work because she can work and be aggressive and physical.
Especially when Emily asks her, how do you keep up this personality time? It's hard, but I like it. And
Yeah.
Emily's like, whoa, it's real.
Yeah.
Reminds me
Going
of
back
my
to Taylor
aunt.
Swift, she can do it with a broken heart. That girl is fire. Like everything about Willow screams champion. It's just again, I don't know.
Just not yet.
Redemption. I want to see her get that TBS over Mercedes.
And I think it'll mean more.
It will. Like
It
her
would.
taking that title back would mean way more than winning a new title.
Because the last run felt transitional because you knew Mercedes was taking it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
Exactly.
if she's a double one? Because Mercedes is
The
double
first.
right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that's a.
Oh,
But then you got
yeah.
one's
Just
Japan
saying, it could be a
versus.
whole new storyline.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
They can
And
go so
we've
many ways.
seen more hardcore matches with the women's championship than we have the TBS championship. We've
Like I
seen
said, that'd
way
be
more
cool to get
bloodshed.
like a lilac belt, like a lilac strap with like little beads on the. That would be cool, I think.
I
Yeah.
just could see her having, because of
colorful
like the
belt.
friendship bracelet angle. Even Statlander said stuff about it, like little things here and there. Like
Careful, some people might say they're copying W. Oh, sorry, I won't go there.
Willow did it first, fuckers.
But where I will go is probably another match that like I didn't know I needed until he made his return. But Jay White's fucking back, thank God, because I love Jay
Yeah.
White. Versus Hangman Adam Page. Now this is kind of a redemption match because Jay White got screwed by Christian Cage in the Owen Hart final, and lost to Hangman, so he's kind of going in reverse. He's got beef with Hangman. He's got beef with Christian. This one's kind of a hard one to predict, but Rachel, what do you think? Do you got Jay White getting win back from his return, or do you think Hangman Page keeps his tear going?
I think that Switchblade White is actually going to win this. I think Hangman is going to put him over because, like, Hangman doesn't have anything, so he's not really losing anything. So and Switchblade White, like, he wrestles good. So I think he's going to win. And it's not for, like, a match.
Well, I mean, it is a match for a match,
Well,
but you're
I
saying
meant
for a
like,
championship or something.
yes.
Well, I mean, it is for storyline. I mean, so anyway, I am going the opposite way again, and I am going with Hangman Page, but I am definitely pulling Shenanigans card on this match for sure. Because, well, as of right now, it's just scheduled to my knowledge as a singles match. And right now, the way Hangman's going, he can't not be disqualified at some point in this match unless they just let whatever go. But with his current character and everything else, I just don't think Hangman can withstand a clean loss of any sort. He's supposed to be the psycho, maniac, just wanting to fight everybody and do this. So I just don't feel like any type of clean win or anything like that really helps his little storyline at all because, but I just, at the same time, I'm kind of split with that because Jay White just came back. He can't.
Yeah.
He definitely can't. That's why I'm saying there's got to be shenanigans here.
Hangman's a legend.
No, not really.
I mean, like, you're never going to forget it.
I'm going to Hangman.
He's got the contract for how long? He's going to be there, so he can take a couple of losses, couple hits.
I don't think either one of them can stand a clean one here, so I'm going shenanigans for either double count out or like double DQ or something to where they save face for both guys because they got to have it. I mean, I don't really care who gets the official win, but yeah, I'll pick one, Hangman Page. I'll say he wins officially as the winner.
I'm gonna go Jay White. I think we're onto something with Jay White. It's his debut match back, not return match. So I feel like he's got to do something.
Yeah. So Matt wants to know if Rachel's saying Hangman is
Oh.
Well, of course he is. He's a cowboy.
He's no Arthur Morgan, though, Matt.
Is he gonna be the one to break Hangman back?
I don't know. I think Jay White as well, but I agree with Jeff here because my first thought was, well, how do they keep it so Hangman doesn't look weak or doesn't look like this whole redemption is for nothing? Because he said that he's going out there and anyone who had anything to do with Swerve, so his main focus is Swerve. I don't think Swerve's going to run that feud back. I think they're going to cool that feud off for a little bit. But Hangman pissed off the Guns. Hangman pissed off Juice. So the Bang Bang Gang is getting involved here, like you said. So I think it's just an utter beatdown of Hangman, like you said, and they just throw him outside. And he gets counted out. So Jay White gets the non-clean win. So Jay White gets the win, but yeah, Hangman gets overpowered. So there's no way he could have won, like the cheap finish.
Yep, something has to be.
And it's gonna be when they know Jay's in trouble too. Like, oh shit, like they're gonna come out. You'll see the Guns come out. They'll bump on their. Hangman's gonna hit him, and then I think Juice is gonna be the one. He's gonna sneak in. He's gonna be like, and he's just gonna like hit him or something like that. And then Hangman's gonna turn around and just pop him one, and then I think Jay White will kind of take advantage from there. So I think that's how you kind of save face. I don't really want to see either guy lose, but I think Jay White takes the victory.
Do the Guns come back?
Oh yeah, I think the Guns save face there, especially with the new action figures that looks like the Cruise figures. Got to get him with JerichoAEW.
Yeah, we need that.
Oh yeah, I want that too.
All right, and now Emily's match of the night is coming up now. 2 out of 3 falls match.
2 of my favorites.
Hologram versus the Beast Mortos. Holy shit. That's going to be fun.
My pick was for Hologram, but I think it's going to be a really good match. And I think there is a possibility that Beast might win.
I like it.
So like I am like 60 hologram, 40 beast. So
You're saying hologram.
yeah,
All right.
kind of.
Well, we actually have our first, I think, agreement maybe between
Oh,
us. So I'm going
second
hologram
last
as
match, and they
well.
got an agreement.
Yeah, finally, right? I think, yeah, same kind of concept. This is going to be a great lucha style match. That's really going to showcase both guys. They're both going to, I think, look strong no matter what happens throughout this. But I think hologram, he's had such a high push here. I think he needs to continue that. Not that Mortos hasn't been killing it, because he has, but obviously the LFI Jake Snake Roberts, I think, angle gets some kind of play in here as well. But I'm going hologram for the dub.
So I think there's 2 of 3 falls. So I think that the first one is probably going to be Beast, and then Hologram, and then Beast again. I see Beast taking this only because, like, Holograms won every single match, and they've really focused and honed in on that in every, like, interview I listened to. Like, well, Hologram hasn't lost. He's undefeated. And it's
Right.
like, that's why this is probably 2 out of 3, to make it so that it's like, well, he did pin you once. This is just going to be so fast paced, so exciting.
Mhm.
Aubrey put it best on Unrestricted. She said something about, like, oh yeah, come join us and buy a seat, but only use the edge of it. Like, I am going to be on the edge of my seat for this match right here.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think you're right. I think they split 1-1, so that way it's somewhat even. But I think Beast Mortos comes on top because you can't keep building him up and having him lose. Like, that's the issue with Beast. I love him, but he hasn't really won yet. He's kind of been on the losing train. He joined the LFI. He's got Jake Snake, who people forget Jake the Snake wrestled in AAA, so he knows luchadors. So I saw all kinds of discourse online about it makes no sense for Jake the Snake to be with luchadors. It does when he used to teach luchadors ring psychology and how to cut
Mhm.
promos.
Yeah.
And
That's the biggest part, the promo part, I think.
and having him being the mouthpiece, like you said, for LFI is great. And I think Jake will be there. I think they'll all be there. I don't see maybe as much shenanigans, but I see some distractions. I see Roosh coming out and kind of distracting Hologram. So it doesn't make Hologram like look, but I think they're gonna make Beast look big here. You know, his first loss, Hologram, he can take a loss. It can be to Beast Mortal. So I think it's Beast, and you got to ride that wave. If people are loving Beast, this won't hurt Hologram. He's still a great wrestler who's you go out there to showcase a great talent. So, you know, in the words of Beast, wah, 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 he's going to rise to the top. But now the hardest match that I think, no less, I've changed my mind 10 times, probably just this episode alone. Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title. If Bryan Danielson loses, his full-time in-ring career is over. Not his career, but his full-time. So does Jon Moxley win and retire Bryan Danielson? Or does Bryan Danielson keep that title, Rachel, and keep his active full-time career going?
Well, I think it's going to be a very dirty, bloody match. I think possibly somebody might get injured a little bit, like maybe not bad, but
Like banged
got to
up.
get some stitches or something. Yeah. But I do see Bryan Danielson winning. I think Moxley is Moxley. I mean, like, he's been from the beginning, like, he can beat everybody. However, I think Bryan Danielson is going to pull this out on top. So,
I like it.
All right. Well, yeah, it took the last 2 matches for us to agree on stuff. Yeah, I'm voting with my heart. I'll just throw it out there right now because there's too many shoulds that point to this being the storybook ending. Obviously Washington versus Mox and their history, and then the possible storyline that could come off of this. That would be a really big, possibly major type thing. So I mean, there's just so many things, but I'm just gonna say it. Fuck that. I want the American Dragon still. I'm not ready for this to end yet. So sorry, Mox, but Bryan Danielson.
So while Rachel was talking, my big brain idea happened. So if you look on Wikipedia, it says Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley with Marina Shafir.
Yep.
Get the tinfoil hat out because it's Brie mode.
Uh-oh.
Brie mode. She's coming.
Uh-oh.
If this isn't when Brie comes, when does she come? Bryan would know. But I think that it's really important to...
Okay.
I think it's really important to realize the fact that Marina is going to be ringside. Like, the fact
They did
that
put
they're
that.
putting it out there, a
They
female is
did.
going to come out.
And she's been at shows,
Yep.
What about Timeless?
so it's not so super far-fetched. Timeless ain't going there.
I'm still baffled by Emily slipping that joke in there. Get it slipping it in.
Uh,
Wow, I was not ready for that one. Because that's a whole nother image for a whole nother time. But
Total divas. You don't have to imagine
Right?
anything.
so Matt's kind of going with where my head's going to go, but
Yeah.
this is kind of how I felt for the last couple days. So I'm going to go with my heart. I think Bryan Danielson, he's going to win the match. He's going to get his feel-good moment. I think it's going to be all happiness, and then Christian Cage music hits. Bryan's going to be battered and broken, and I think he cashes in. I think he wins. I think Bryan is battered and broken, so you get that, yes, he did it. He's staying. He beat Moxley.
Oh,
Oh, shit. The ultimate opportunist.
what the fuck?
But I say ultimate opportunist because what if, as he's about to beat Bryan, Adam Copeland comes out and spears the ever-living fuck out of Christian Cage to make sure Bryan. So I could see it. Those are like the two ways I kind of see it, that Bryan wins and Christian successfully cashes it, or Bryan wins and Christian tries to, and Adam Copeland just spears the ever-living dog shit out of him. So he can't, because it would be, he's pretty much on the path to get cleared. They originally said it was 4 to 5 months, which would be about this time frame. It's his anniversary of his debut from last year in Seattle area.
Right.
That's kind of where my tinfoil is going. But yeah, I think Bryan,
like
I
Adam
think they're
Copeland.
using too much again that he's losing.
Matt, we're really trying to peer pressure you. You told us earlier we couldn't peer pressure you to going to the show. Like,
Everyone like Matt's comment. Everyone like
Every
Matt's
single
comment.
person.
If you give him enough likes, he'll go. Everyone like his comment.
I'll get my phone and like it.
But
You gotta
I just-
go.
I don't know. It's so, because I feel like if Moxley wins it, like, where do they go? And like, I don't think Moxley needs or would really benefit from getting that heat. Can you imagine the nuclear heat if even Christian tried to keep that story going? And then there's so much they could do with that. But I think whoever dethrones him, it's got to be someone who can use that rub from Bryan Danielson. And I think we've all thought this is his ending since they announced it was in Tacoma. It was in his home state. But is it, or is that just Bryan putting out those stories that his body's broken down and he's done? Bryan Danielson loves to lie.
That's
so
fair.
we're forgetting about somebody. Wheeler Yuta.
Oh
is
no,
the
I didn't
deciding
forget.
factor.
I didn't forget
I
yet
love
him
Swerve.
either. No, I don't either. But I didn't forget about him. He was on my surprise stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I guess like there's so many ways that this could go, but I really I want to see Bryan staying full time at the moment. I'm not ready. This doesn't feel like an ending yet.
And that's why I don't know. Like, but I think Yuta is turning, because you had Claudio last week saying, "What has he done for you?"
Do you guys think
And that-
Yuta's gonna turn in the comments?
Right? And then you have, after he says, "What have you done for you?" Then you have him doing the yes chant. Yuta's on the ground like, reaching out to Bryan like in pain. He's just, yes. So like, can you imagine in real life, like, you just helped your best friend and you're writhing in pain and he's like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna stick with you. So I guess
Yeah, that one's a
we
tough one.
So let's wrap up that way. Let's all, like, what's another tinfoil or wild theory you think is gonna happen? Like, we think Shane McMahon will go around. Do we think Enzo, like Emily said earlier? Like, what do we think for any like bonus or wild predictions?
I'm gonna have to think on that for a second.
I got mine. So
Okay, go ahead. You go first.
So obviously one of them that's kind of been talked about and everything is Bobby Lashley. Um, I don't, I don't know if I need that yet, but it could do well, like we talked about in that Swerve storyline and possibly with that stuff. And then we talked about Tony Storm, but I'm kind of pushing that one back now. I think more. I think maybe in a month, or something like that. Maybe she comes back full gear or something, or something like that. So I'll push her back. The Wheeler Yuta one, I have Wheeler turns on Bryan, or I have Wheeler helps Bryan but hurts him. So tries to help him, tries to be the good guy he has been and have Bryan's back, but then unofficially stabs him in the back by helping him.
Ooh,
And then Bryan's, what the fuck, or something like that. Like, hey, you almost cost me the match. Well, you left me laying in the ring, or something like that. Kind of your point about Wheeler when he, was sitting there writhing in pain with his ribs. And then, yeah, the really super far-fetched Shane McMahon comes out as the leader of this Moxley takeover group or whatever. And then maybe Britt Baker, but like I said, we might be pushing that one out again too. And then we talked possibly Golden Lovers, but I don't think that's time for that yet. But maybe that, like I said, that might be our buck enders to get Private Party of the dub. Maybe that's their only way to get it. So I'd say those are my tinfoils, I guess.
I like it.
Does that
Okay,
help?
so I got mine.
All right.
Well, I really think that Nigel is going to come out at some point in time, and want to fight somebody as well. I do believe Britt Baker is coming out this time. I was thinking Timeless Tony Storm, and I think she still might, but I think it's going to be during the match that Mariah May is wrestling with. But
I like the Mina part. I think that one.
yeah, I don't think the McMahon at all.
Like I said, that was a way out there one.
Right, like super left fields.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. So
yeah. But I also think that maybe the Outrunners have something to do with the Young Bucks with their match too, because they're getting up there. Like they're winning, they're changing their
all
styles.
vascular.
Next year by this time they're gonna have the tag titles. You get, I guarantee.
Yep.
Even if it's for a month or two,
Oh
he's gonna capitalize on that popularity at some point.
man, she just got to see the Outrunners FTR from a couple week or two ago, I guess it was.
Wow.
She just
So
got to
great.
see that. So
It's
yeah,
so
I was
great, especially
loving
when he
it.
dyes his mustache. Oh,
Yep.
all right. What is Babe's tinfoil hat? We need a name for yours, Babe's tinfoil hat.
Apparently Brie again.
Bravo,
I
that
think
was a
I've
good
said
one.
this a couple pay-per-views now.
It's
Go
time.
into existence.
It's okay. Listen, I willed Britt Baker coming back every week.
Listen, I
said
tried
it.
Motor City Machine Guns for like a year,
No, we lost that one.
but we willed Nigel back. We willed Nigel. We were all talking about Nigel coming back.
That's true.
So follow
That
your
was
dreams.
awesome. That was
So
awesome.
like Brie, and then we've got Private Party going into the Hurt Syndicate.
That would definitely be good. Like holy shit.
I feel like Wrestledream has so much potential for debuts because we haven't seen any in a while. And I believe we had 3 debuts in one pay-per-view before. So I could really just see them kind of loading this up because people are like, oh, look at this card. Who pays for this? And my favorite is, why are we complaining about having 11 matches? Excuse me. I paid for that. I want 11 or more. Thank you.
Right.
Especially when it's a 4-hour show and you can watch another one and there's an hour and a half of wrestling, an hour and a half of filler. It just depends what you want to watch. Like 11 matches,
both
but
good.
I enjoyed the matches, and I think my surprises. I mean, I kind of slipped a couple. Like I think the Golden Lovers, like Jeff said, I'm not really sure, but I think they could. I think my far left one out there, Josh Barnett coming out during the last match. There's
Ooh.
actually, we have a couple followers who have pointed me onto that story as well. That they were Marina and Moxley were in Bloodsport with him. So I'm not saying he's gonna do anything, but he could eventually, maybe he's seen backstage, like he's not the leader, but maybe he's kind of like a de facto, like helping organize this. Or here's the one that I was like really tinfoil. What if Moxley just trademarked a brand new trademark? His old tag team name was Sami Callihan. We haven't seen Sami Callihan in a hot minute. I know he was at TNA for a few months, but he's kind of the perfect like mold for this group now. Like the BCC originally, no, because that was more about pure wrestling. So if Yuta doesn't turn, do we get Sami Callihan and Moxley's new faction here?
Where did I saw him? Where did I see him at? It was something really obscure out of nowhere, but I saw Sami Callihan on some independent. I can't remember what it was, but it was just maybe 2 weeks ago or something. So, but no, that'd be really good if we got Sami Callihan. He's awesome.
I know. I'm just
good talker too.
I'm really curious for a lot of these because I mean, I feel like we all had some pretty different different ways. I still think there's still, it's like Doctor Strange in Endgame. He's like, I saw 6,355 endings and you all failed except for one. I feel like with AEW, you can see all those endings. You're like, crap, which universe we go into? Which ending are we getting here? Because I don't genuinely know where Bryan is, if he's winning or not. I want him to, like you said, with my heart. A lot of these matches, I don't know because it could go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that though. What's that?
So Mariah's been talking about how she can't celebrate being a champion yet because of Mina not being there. So maybe she doesn't lose this title until her championship thing, and then that's when Tony comes out.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Championship celebration.
I definitely think Adam
Well,
Cole.
because Mina's. Oh, there you go. Because Mina's signed, so we know we're going to end up getting to see more of her.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it would be a great storyline to have her in because it has people that she's already known to have been associates with, and it's been thrown out there and built up through the other storyline with Tony. So, I mean, you could definitely go full circle in this.
Alex making a good point, too. See, that's why it's hard if Alex loses, TakeOver be a flop. Yeah, it's hard because of what their story is, but I feel like we still don't know a lot of the motivation. We just know he's, like, he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Right.
That's why I see Darby going, but I don't know. A lot of people kind of crap, but I feel like Allin was a reset, and I feel like we're seeing these stories flush out. And I think we're in that moment now where they've kind of started to bleed in from All Out, but we haven't really gotten to the crest of it yet. So I think a lot of people are, well, what's going on? We have to wait and see. And I think
they're getting ready. Yes.
I think that's why people are poo-pooing on this card because I'm like, this is your transition pay-per-view. These are great matches, but it's going to set up that full gear to the world's end so that they can start setting up that all-in payoff. And I think people forget about that they're trying to set up these long-term stories. And I don't understand when everyone's like, they don't tell long-term stories. It's like, then you don't watch because look at every card in this match that we talked about tonight has some sort of story with it and implications. Like, I'm curious to see, does Christian Cage show up because he's been teasing it? What's going on with Kip and his faction? Like, there's so much that we like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, again, you said towards the end.
Kip Sabian too. Him and Penelope.
And Penelope.
Big issue.
Where is Adam Cole?
I know.
That too.
I'm gonna need him to come out. Okay, it's time.
MJF's done filming. When's he coming back? Samoa Joe.
Yep. That's what I mean. So we got some
Julia
people going to be coming back. Yeah.
So
and then what about first of all, Mercedes? She needs to wrestle. Okay, I'm gonna need you to see. I'm gonna need you to wrestle and put that belt up because that's your job. Okay, but Camille, that's what I want to call her.
Yeah, that's her name.
Okay, so I think Camille's going to turn on her, and I think that's going to be coming at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think you definitely see Mercedes and Statlander at Full Gear. I think that's where I see them kind of heading towards. I'll take it. I will take seeing Camille showing everyone that she was the reason she was an 800-plus day NWA champion.
Yep.
Her and Statlander are going to change people's minds, and that's going to
agreed. They're going to become a team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too because we got to see Camille wrestle a few times with NWA when we went in St. Louis.
She's good.
So yeah, we enjoyed it, and we got to see at least 2 or 3 of those title defenses, and the one she lost, of course. We got to saw when she dropped it actually. So I mean, it was pretty cool, and yeah,
now
she came a long way. Yeah, oh man, and we saw that, and that put her over real quick. And her family was there and everything too.
Yep.
It was a cool moment because her family came up right off to our left, so it was awesome, giving hugs and everything else. And it was like, damn, this is awesome. It's such a cool moment, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm excited to see that Queen of the Ring. I hope they showcase that movie. So Camille is doing a movie called Queen of the Ring about
I saw
NWA
that.
back when women's wrestling was illegal, and she's playing the main rival for the championship. And I'm really excited to see
Ooh, that'd
how
be
it's
nice.
done. And I'm like, that explains why they signed her and she wasn't really
Hmm.
on the show. Like everyone's like, oh, the booking, but look, she was off filming a movie. MJF, he's off filming a movie. I think it's great that they get this freedom to go do that, and then they come back and they're like, oh, you know, again, you saw anybody, you saw the Outrunners, you saw Camille, you saw Kenzie Page. Go to your local indies, go to the NWAs, go to these shows because you're seeing some of the future stars of wrestling.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know so many different wrestlers from it. I mean, it's awesome because you get them, you meet them, like you said, when they're not big stars yet, and they're still, you know, not to say that they're not humble and stuff, but the spotlight hasn't got them in one way or another. So you get to meet them when they're trying to get up there and everything else. So yeah, it's super awesome, and you get to see them work differently.
Titus. He was pretty good to see. I like to watch him.
Who was that?
Titus.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then thank you about Mildred Burke. I couldn't think of her name, and apparently she
Yeah,
also was a producer. But that's why I like learning more. I like doing deep dives, and that's why Emily does those. So I
Thanks
think
to my deep dives, we just had an interview.
I saw that.
I know
I have not got to listen to the episode yet because I just finished the Nigel Bryan one that was right in front of it, which that one was awesome. I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's why I watched, like I said, I ended up watching the documentary to see the little bit different side of Nigel because, like I said, I knew a lot about him in certain ways, but, you know, it was nice to see the guy behind it a little bit because he was always kind of, like I said, a heel and an asshole and, you know, kind of a prick, the English prick guy, you know, that was his kind of persona. So,
It showed his heart, that's for
What
sure.
if
and
Nigel
passion,
doesn't make
and
a
passion.
Nigel's not saving the clam digger. Come on.
I want
That's
to see
the
your
last
reaction.
person that he's gonna have save. I would picture Moxley saving Bryan before.
No, I was
Nigel
thinking, I wanted to
does.
see your reaction. Like maybe no. She's like, nope, hell no.
No, she shot that one down quick.
Absolutely. All right.
I
Well,
feel like I forgot something.
I mean, we went over all the matches. I think so. I think we are gonna get ready to call it a night. Everyone definitely check it out. Depending how alert I am tomorrow, I may come on and do a post show. Most likely we'll fall asleep because I'm an old man. But yeah, I'm excited to watch this pay per view. Poor Emily's gonna
Work at
work
4
at
in the morning.
0500, so she gets to
Ugh.
be a zombie the entire morning after this pay per view.
Worth it.
So make
Yeah.
sure you tip your servers, bartenders, and anyone else to keep them going strong because she's going to need lots of caffeine and that costs a lot of money. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. She's got to work the evening tomorrow too, so I'm going to be watching it by myself as well. So
Yep.
Well,
maybe you and I
hopefully-
need to get maybe you and I need to get together then, and we can do this while we watch it or something.
I won't be able to see it till Sunday morning.
Oh,
I'll be watching Sunday probably night. I'll catch up on everything. My nappy
Yeah.
times.
naps.
Yep.
Nice.
So, well, I'll get a hold of you tomorrow then, like I said, because if they're both going to be gone or sleeping or whatnot, then you know. Oh, did Cam already go to bed?
No.
Oh, but on
We'll
that
bring
note,
him on.
we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up, and you guys can shout to Cam. And thanks everyone for tuning in. So until next time, always
Keep the
keep the
kayfabe.
kayfabe. And Matt, I'll reach out to you.
Hey.